Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to create this kind of effect in Houdini. Just have a look. Okay, so we will create this kind of effect here, and that effect is I have created with the help of a curve. So we can change the position of the curve anytime we like, and the randomness of the curve. Okay, so let's get started. And for that we will take a geo and we'll create a slab for that. So for that we will take a box and change this size to 10 and 3 and point 0.1. Let's take it 4. I will try to keep the things very simple so that you can understand how these things are created, and then you can make it more complex. Okay, so that is the box, and then I will take ISO because I'm going to use Voronoi fracture, and for that I will take ISO and then the scatter points. So ISO offset and then connect with this, and then let's take it 50, increasing the sampling. This is becoming more crisp. So within this volume our scattering point are going to reside. So next is scatter. Okay, so these are 1000 scattering points. We can increase and decrease them. So these are 1000. So for now we will keep it like that, and then later on we can increase this. And then we will get off this relax iteration so that some noisiness can come there. Okay, so that is a scattering, and I will take Voronoi fracture, and then I will also take the slab a little bit higher than the origin. So for that I will take a transform node and then I'll apply it here, and then I will take this value to 1 and then connect this output to the first input and then the second input to scatter. Okay, so these are the scattering points we have. Okay, and these are number of chunks. So I really don't want to randomize them for now. We can do it in some other one. First I finish this basic series, then I'm going to start maybe some other series, and then we will take some complex kind of examples and tutorials. So these are all our basic tutorials. Okay, so then we will take this Voronoi, and I'm going to use packed primitive for that. So right now we have 14,000 approximate points. So I will take um, for that assemble node for the packed primitive, and now sorry, and now click here at create packed primitive, and then I will also switch on this cusp edges, and now we have 961 points. Okay, so that is one thing. So now what I will do, I will take it and maybe I'll create two boxes so that I can keep some of the part of the slab to be inactive and the rest one is active. Okay, so I will keep this part and this part to be inactive, and then I will leave the center part for being active. So I will take the box for that, and I will create a group for that. I will take the group for that, and then I will keep the name to be inactive, and then I will use its second input to create the two boxes. So I will take box, and then sorry, I will change the center value. So I'll take it 2.5 or something, right? 2.5, no, 2 only. Okay, so I will keep it 2, then take it a little up, 1, and then increase the size to 10. Okay, and then I will take another box by pressing Alt and dragging it, and then I'll take this to -2. Okay, and then select both of them, press Alt and drag it, then that will create a merge, and then we'll connect this to second input of the group, and then we'll come here, take it to the points because this group does not take primitives, and then we don't need this base group, but we need it keep in bounding region. So click here and go to the bounding object, points or vertices, whatever. So now in this manner we have created this part to be this part is inactive and this part will be active. Okay, so now I will take a point triangle to activate the active part or inactive part, and I will make the whole thing as active. So here I will take I for integer, at active, I at active equals to 1. Okay, that means the whole object is active. And then I'll go and take a null and then name it out slab rigid or rigid slab. So that is the first thing we have done. So now I'll go here and then we'll take a DOP network, get inside it. So because I have changed everything, every primitive to a packed primitive, so we are going to take RBD packed object. And next we are going to take bullet solver. And then next we are going to take gravity. No, not bullet data, sorry. That is bullet solver. Okay. And then gravity and then output L. So I will also take a ground and we'll take a merge node. Okay, and now I will call packed primitive. So click here in the swap path and then click here in the slab and then out rigid slab. Select this one. Okay, and now we will play it. Okay, so now the whole slab is going down. Whole slab is going down. Okay, so now I will do one more thing. I will cash it out along with that. So with that, I will take a geo node. So geo is there, and then I take it as a cache. Sorry, and then import dop. That is, so for that we will take dop import, and then we'll call here dop network. That is dop net. Okay, and then I'll click here import style. That will be fetch geometry from dop network. Okay, and here I just want to import this slab thus this ground. So what I will take, I will make it as the object mass. So what I will do, I will go inside this and then copy this name of the slab and then come here and then paste here and enter. So in that manner we are just going to take the slab here. Okay, so that's the thing, and then we will cache it out. So that is file cache. For that, file cache, and then we will take 100 frames for the whole simulation, and I will I will get into the folder I want to take. So I will go in. Okay, so here I will take the same folder here. I will override this one. Okay, so accept it, and then okay, so range is there 100, and then we can save to disk. Okay, for now we are not doing it, but we'll be using this one only. Okay, so now I just want to, I want to propagate this simulation. Maybe a part of the chunks only go down. Okay, so now I first of all I want to maybe keep these inactive part here only, because right now the whole slab is going down and hitting the ground. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take another point triangle. Right now the whole slab is going down. So for that I will take another point triangle, and then I want to make it I at active equals to 0, but only for certain values, like only for the group which is inactive here. So I will select inactive group here, which is this part and this part, and then this part will be inactive only and the rest of the part will be active here. Okay, so okay, so now only this part is inactive. We can change it anytime, we can reduce it and maybe increase the part. So this part will be the inactive part, and the chunks which are going down, they will be part of the active active part. Okay, so now the next thing is, I don't want these all the primitives to go down at once, all of them. I just want to activate them slowly. Okay, so for that, first of all I just want to keep all of them right there and not going down. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use glue constraint for that. So I will go to the slab again, and then I will create the constraint for that. We have done this part already, but we are going to do it because that is a little different from the other tutorials I have created. So for that, I will take adjacent pieces, connect adjacent pieces, connect adjacent pieces, and I will connect it here, right? So I'll come here. So here I can see only, view, very few, parts are there, and they are almost not connected. So I will change this connection type to adjacent pieces from surface points. Okay. So I will take this value first, and then I'll keep the search let it be like this right now. We will change it maybe later on. So I will take this one, and then I will create the attributes for that. So now I will take create attribute or attribute create node, and then the first attribute we are going to create is the name attribute. So we will take two values for that, two inputs for that. So first one will be name attribute, that is constraint name. Constraint, I always make mistake here. Constraint name, and class will be primitive, and type will be string, because that is the name, and the name of the constraint is glue. The next attribute is, I will copy paste this one only, that will be the type. Okay, and this is the same, primitive and string, and this will be all, like position and rotation and all. Okay, so these two attributes we will create for that, and then we will take a null, and then I'll name it out constraint. Right. So from the rigid body we'll call from here, and the constraint will call from here. And now I just want to maybe delete this part. So maybe when I have created this part, then first of all I will, connect all the nodes which can hold this thing. That means for the constraint part. Okay. So I will go to dot network here, and then I will take constraint network, so that we can hold, all the chunks here. So I'll keep it just after, sorry, I will keep it just after bullet solver. And the second thing we require is glue constant relationship, and I will connect it to second input of constraint network. So I will come here in the constraint network, and then in the swap path we will call the constraint we just created. So that is out constraint. So that will be taken there. And here in the here in the glue relationship, we will go down and name the constraint we wrote there in the attribute, that is glue, all small. Sorry, and that will be glue. That is glue. Okay, so now you can see the constraints here. That's cool. Okay, so now the chunks are not going down. Why? Because there is a strong force which is all holding them together. So what I will do, I will go to this constraint relationship, and then here we will decrease the value, maybe like this, and then Okay, so now what I want, I really want to go there, um, and then we'll have to do one more thing here. So maybe in some past tutorials we have done till this point, but here we have to take one more step, and then that's what we have to do. We have to go here, and then maybe I'll come here, and then what we have to do, we have to, if we delete these constraints, then the chunks will go down with some curve or maybe with some object. Then this can happen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a curve for that, and then I will animate the curve, and then try to delete the whole constraint network in that manner, the part I want. So for that, what I'm going to do, I will press 2, sorry, I will press escape, and then I'll press 2, then go in the top view, and I'm going to create a curve. So I will take a curve node for that, and then I will create the curve. So click here, okay, so that this cursor will be changed to this crisscross, and then you can create that part. So okay, okay, like that, and escape. Okay, so now we have this curve here. So you can create maybe any kind of curve. You can create a line, and then you can give it some sort of noise, but I want to keep it very simple so that you people can understand it. Okay, so that curve is there, and then I will press 1, and then I want to take that curve. I want to take that curve to the same point where the rest of the slab is there. So I'll come here and then make it like that. So the y distance is y. So I'll go there and take a transform. Take a transform, and then in the y translate, give value 1, and then that will be there. Okay, so we want to we want the chunks to get removed, I want the constraint to get removed from this part, and then the chunks around this area will go down because constraint will be deleted from that area. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to, maybe I will take a null, or yeah, I'll take an, or I will apply the curve here only. I will do the animation here only. Okay, so I will take a curve, and then along with that I will take a null. Okay, okay, so that will be out, constraint, constraint break, break. Okay, okay, so now I want to animate it, so I'll go to curve only. So click here and then animate this. So okay, I don't want to take this part. I will switch on to second U, and then I will reduce this one. Okay, so I will come here, I'll come here, and then make it 0, and then press alt and click here with the left mouse button at frame 1, and then go to frame 50, and then press it maybe zero 0.5, and then press alt and click here with the left mouse button, and then go to 80, and then take it to 1, and then alt and press with the left mouse button. Okay, so now this is the animation of the curve. This will be like this. So you can you can make it in any way you like, but this is how I am going to do it. So that is out constraint break, and then I have to activate this part also. I'll go to top network, and then to creating this part, I will take a SOP a SOP solver, a SOP solver. Okay, and then I will call it there. So I will call, because I want to break the constraint, so I will call the constraint. Okay, so I will take for that I will take import object, sorry, object merge, and I will copy and paste it. So here I will call this constraint, this out constraint. Okay, out constraint, that means this part. Okay, this part, and then here this is the line, so I will call line here. Okay, and that is out constraint break. Okay, the a line means curve. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I will give it some color. So I will come here, I will take color, and then I will apply this black here. So that means 0 0 and 0, and then this will be, this will hold this color like all black. Just a second. um, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete all the attributes here. uh, just a second, I'll go back and then see, maybe it is taking color from here only. That is just the visual part. Hmm. and then I'll go to top and get inside, and yeah, now you can see it. Okay, so yeah, so I have assigned this black color to the whole constraint network, and then here I will come and give some other color here. So I'll give maybe red to this one. So I'll make it 0 and 0, and this is red one. And now I will trip transfer. Attribute transfer. So I will connect this input, first one, and this is to the second one, and then this will become red. Okay, that means whole color to be transferred to the network, constraint network. But I really don't want to do that. What I want to do, I want to transfer only the area which is very close to the curve. So I will go inside it, and then I will go to the conditions tab, and then I'll come here in the this distance threshold, and I will reduce this value. I will reduce this value, but now I can see that red is only assigned to the points. So that means if I don't have more points, this will be looking like that. Okay, so I want to increase the value of the points, because right now we have only um, these points here. So I want to increase that value, and for that what I'm going to do, I will add a resample node. Okay, and now I have more points. So now this is going to work in the same manner. So now we can see very well, that means whole area around the curve is red, and I want to decrease this value. to maybe 0.3 like this, and that's fine. So what I want to do, I want to, now this will be working like this, but I really don't want to transfer the color. I want to delete the part which is there, which is coming within this red color. So for that I'll be using delete node, and then I will give some expression so that this part can be deleted here. So delete by pattern and delete by expression. So I'll come here and write down dollar $CR, that means red color. When this is greater than zero point 0.5, it should be deleted like this. Okay, so this part of the constraint will be deleted. So because this value is not that is very zero or maybe close to zero, and that is why that is not getting deleted. So now I will come back and just try to see, what kind of this effect is going on here. Okay, so have a look here, and then I will reduce the value. Maybe I can increase value of the to little more 0.35 maybe. Okay, some part is still there, or maybe we can try the strength value. So I'll go to this one and make it maybe 50. Okay, so I will take a little more value. Maybe I can make it 1 or something. No, 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 no. Like this. And then I can go to DOP network, and sometimes this reset simulation we have to do. And then I will go to this one. This ground is irritating me. So we'll go here and display proxy geometry, and then we will be able to see only this part. Okay. Okay, so now this is working fine. Maybe a few more changes we can do, and then this will be good to go. So I'll be increasing this value a little more. So I'll make it maybe 0.4 or something. Yeah, zero point 0.4, and then this will be working fine. So like here, and then I'll go to glue constraint network, and then I will go to guide options, and I will remove this show guide geometry. Okay, because these you can see these parts. Okay, so that will not be visible there anymore. That is only for visualization. Okay. Okay, so now it is working. Maybe you can make more changes you require, but that thing will be done in that manner. And then we will go to this cache, and then we'll go to this cache, and then we will write down the cache. Okay, so now we'll come here. Sorry, we'll come here, and then we'll go to save to disk. And then we will load it from the disk. Okay, so now in that manner, that will be loaded from the disk only, and then this will be loading from the disk, so we can check it. Okay, so in that manner, this kind of breaking can be created. This kind of destruction can be created, and maybe so many other attributes can be applied. Maybe velocity can also be applied there to give it some, maybe some good simulation. So this is what we are getting. So we can also maybe increase the number of chunks here. What we can do, we can go back in the slab, and then we can increase the number of scatter point here, and then we'll make it 2000, so that we can have more chunks, or maybe 3000, and then we'll come here, and then again we have to go to cache, and then maybe we'll have to write it down. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so let's press Ctrl B so that we can see in the full view and display it. Okay, so everybody, this is what I have in this tutorial for you. So I hope you liked it. So thank you very much.